You're watching ABC 7 News at 5:30.
Welcome back. As red tide continues to kill fish and other marine animals, the state of Florida is trying to replenish the population of some of them.
ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live now from Venice with exactly what's being done to bring more fish into our waters. Rebecca?
Jacqueline Scott, masses of dead fish continue to wash ashore, and the redfish species has become one of red tide's biggest victims.
Florida is known as a fishing destination. The best place to go without a passport. You know, we have a catchphrase, no passport needed. I think the marquee species that we have are three large inshore game fish species, snook, trout, and redfish.
But these fish have been among thousands of marine life that have been killed by red tide. So fishing on the Suncoast has basically been non-existent.
Locally, we're very excited to get back to work. And in order to do that, we have to be able to have fish to catch.
In hopes to bring the numbers back up, Governor Scott announced that FWC is directing $1.2 million for research and production of redfish.
Well, at this point, we're ready to transition from a research-oriented focus to a production-oriented focus. So the money that was given to FWC will expand the production capacity by about 600% for redfish.
FWC Stock Enhancement Research Facility in Port Manatee will now have additional equipment and supplies to be able to spawn and raise 6 times more of the amount of redfish they were already producing. And they'll be able to let them out in the Gulf as soon as the waters are safe to do so.
The system for us here locally obviously will help our situation and help us promote our industry and hopefully gather some ground on getting people back down here to stand on the deck of our boats and catch fish.
FWC plans on releasing the artificial restock of the popular game fish by as early as April. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Rebecca. Could a specialized clay stop the effects of red tide? Well, that's what a newly announced partnership with red tide experts hopes to uncover. Florida Fish and Wildlife announcing it's teaming up with the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, Mote Marine Lab, and University of South Florida, along with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to look for ways to combat red tide. That team will be conducting field experiments and focusing on using a form of specialized clay to fight the effects of the algae.
And this ongoing red tide is putting a damper on popular events in our local communities. For the first year since its creation in 2014, the Venice Beach Bash will not be held at the beach. Venice Main Street and City Council decided to move the day-long festivities to Centennial Park in downtown Venice. All the vendors, bands, and activities will remain the same, but now residents will be able to not only attend the yearly party, but support business owners in downtown during their Shoptember weekend.
We're hoping by moving the event into downtown, we can bring people into the downtown, and we're not going to let red tide stop this party. We want people to come downtown, support the merchants, and have a really good time.
There will be a free parking shuttle that will loop downtown to bring guests to the main area. That event will be held from 2:45 p.m. until sunset this Saturday.
All right, let's get to check now on our weather on this Wednesday night with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Hi, Bob.
Hi, and the good thing about that, the event over the weekend, we're going to see a pretty strong east wind, anywhere from 10 miles an hour up to 15 at times throughout most of the day, and that always carries that harmful impacts anyway out into the Gulf as opposed to right on shore. That west wind can be very detrimental to beachgoers, and we're not going to see that until the late afternoon and evening with the sea breeze kicking in like we're seeing right now. 9-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the west at the airport anyway. It's 89. It feels way up there, 102 degrees, and the heat continues. There's no cold fronts in sight. Typically, the first cold front for us on an average basis comes down in the second week of October. Well, the Lakewood Ranch webcam showing those fair weather cumulus clouds out there, and you'll start to see them gathering up a bit, being a little bit more congested there. And those are bringing some storms across parts of Florida. Not a lot. There's a little bit of activity here and there. They pop up, they stick around for a little while, then they create other little boundaries and other little storms popping up here and there. You can see the heavier storms to the north of us now, and some showers pretty intense near Mayaca City, just to the northwest of Mayaca City, right around Lakewood Ranch. To the east, there are more so. near Heritage Oaks, getting some rain, or at least near there. Also near Laurel Oak and Laurel, you can see some lightning strikes. Not a lot of lightning, but that just indicates that the storms aren't growing to the 50,000 foot level because of that dry air in place. You'll notice this one just kind of flared up within the last half hour or so, and it is generating some lightning strikes here and there near Bethany. This one kind of moving off to the southeast right now. Not a lot going on near the coast, and it is staying quiet for the most part now, but I suspect there'll be one or two scattered storms through this evening that will have a tendency to build back toward the coast once that sea breeze gets knocked down a bit. Well, the upper level low is heading out. That had all the dry air around it yesterday. Still some dry air in place over the southeast United States and into Florida, although it will thin out a little bit on Thursday, a little bit more so on Friday, and that means those afternoon storms will be back with quite a bit of coverage, I think, beginning on Friday. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. Tonight, the woman who helped kidnap Elizabeth Smart has been released from prison. Wanda Barzee served 15 years for her part in the abduction and rape of Smart, who was just 14 years old at the time. But Smart warns that Barzee is still a threat to the community. ABC's Alex Stone tells us why.
Wanda Barzee, one of two people sent to prison for kidnapping Elizabeth Smart, released Wednesday morning.
She will comply with all conditions of her release. There is no reliable evidence to support speculation that Ms. Barzee presently poses a threat of any kind to the community.
Barzee and her husband, Brian David Mitchell, were arrested for kidnapping then 14-year-old Elizabeth from her bedroom in June of 2002. Prosecutors wanted to focus on Mitchell.
There was an effort at that time, since Brian David Mitchell was awaiting trial, to eliminate Wanda Barzee as a defendant.
Barzee pleaded guilty in 2010. In exchange for her plea and testimony against her husband, she received leniency in sentencing. She was serving a 15-year sentence when the Utah Board of Pardons and Parole realized she did not get credit for time served, moving up her release date from 2024. In a statement saying, quote, "This is not an early release. Ms. Barzee will have spent 15 years in custody, which is a maximum amount of time allowed by her state conviction and sentence." Smart, now 30, had urged officials to reconsider releasing Barzee, saying she's still a threat. Today, posting on Instagram, quote, "May we all remain vigilant in watching over our families, friends, and community from anyone who would seek to hurt or take advantage. I truly believe life is meant to be happy and beautiful, and no matter what happens, that will remain my goal for me and for my family." Barzee will be under federal supervision for the next 5 years. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Terror has no boundaries and finds its way into the most unlikely places. After recent attacks in Florida at a video game tournament and shootings at high school football games and in Parkland, local event organizers are not taking any chances. The Sarasota Farmers Market is committed to bumping up its security so its 500,000 annual guests are safe.
I walk from end to end of the market on a daily basis and really try to keep my eye on things.
Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 7 with Jacqueline Matter, we'll share why the farmers market is asking the city for thousands of dollars to boost security and how to prepare for the worst case scenario.
Tonight, police are investigating after a skimming device was found on a gas pump at a Sarasota gas station. Police say it was installed a week ago at the Citgo station on Bee Ridge Road. That device was discovered by employees the next morning, but was operational for about 3 hours before it was removed. And a reminder on how to stay safe at fuel pumps. Officials do advise that you choose a fuel pump that is close to the entrance. Use a credit card for the transaction, not a debit card. And of course, pay inside if you can and use cash as an alternative. Always look at your bank statement, and if something doesn't seem right, contact your bank immediately.
Tonight, a University of Central Florida football player is charged with sexual battery. Campus police arresting 18-year-old Demetrius Mays yesterday. He's a freshman linebacker for the Knights. Police say Mays met the victim at an off-campus party on Saturday night. She later told investigators she woke up as she was being sexually assaulted in a room on campus. Then, when she tried to leave, she says Mays blocked the door. Mays told investigators it had been a consensual meeting. The Baltimore Orioles marking a special event with a bold fashion statement. During a game against the Blue Jays at Camden Yards last night, the team wore special jerseys. These jerseys had braille dots spelling out the word Orioles on the front and the players' names on the back of the jerseys. The move was to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the National Federation of the Blind's headquarters move to Baltimore. The Orioles claim they are the first U.S. professional team to use Braille lettering on their game day uniforms. Those uniforms are now being auctioned off to raise money for the National Federation of the Blind.
It's pretty neat.
It is. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how light exercise can help reduce the risk of a severe stroke.
Plus, car thieves target certain makes and models more than others. Find out if your car made that list coming up next.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Conquer your next adventure. Get a new Jeep at a great price during Jeep Adventure Days at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and coinsurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. There is no obligation and the book is free. Call or go online right now.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
There are more older Americans than ever, and many of them would like to know how to avoid a severe stroke. ABC's Elizabeth Hur tells us about a new study on that very topic.
Walking, always a healthy option, but for people over 70, it's more than just a way to feel better. It may help avoid a severe stroke. That's according to doctors in Sweden who studied more than 900 adults who came to the hospital with mild, moderate, or severe stroke. The group's average age, 73. But turns out low or moderate exercisers and those who were younger were twice as likely to have a milder stroke than those who were inactive, leading researchers to believe there are clear health benefits for your brain from regular low-intensity exercise. The study also suggesting older adults could protect themselves from serious brain injury by walking just a few hours a week. So whatever your age, tie your shoelaces and go for a walk. With this Medical Minute, I'm Elizabeth Hur, ABC News.
According to a recent study, Americans appear to be walking more often now than they were a decade ago. The study looked at data from the National Health Interview Survey. Researchers found that while the percentage of people walking went up, the average distance traveled was actually less. Dr. Michael Rosen of the Cleveland Clinic says that if you are healthy enough to walk, you should walk for at least 10,000 steps per day.
The key where you get healthy is 10,000 steps a day. It's not a magic number we pull down. It's the number where you break metabolic syndrome, where you break insulin resistance in your muscle cells.
Dr. Rosen also recommends getting a pedometer to track your steps, as well as a walking buddy who can hold you accountable.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Not the best news coming out of the midweek report now from the FWC. This is a satellite imagery showing where the red tide is gaining some ground right now. Again, off of Charlotte and Lee, you can see Sarasota County still relatively high, even offshore. The red area indicating the higher concentrations. We still have a little bit lower right there near Venice into the moderate concentrations. That's still enough, though, to kill fish and marine life. And you can see in Manatee County, not as much offshore. Still fairly high, though. Some high concentrations reported in Manatee County. Notice in Pinellas, it's really starting to get a hold there in some of the area beaches in Pinellas, and even making its way into parts of Tampa Bay and some of the canals there. So not the best of news in the midweek report. The full report coming out on Friday. And we'll have much more on that, obviously, on our website at mysuncoast.com. Lakewood Ranch webcam showing some fair weather cumulus clouds and then just enough heat of the day. Temperatures in the low 90s to create some lift, and the sea breeze generating a few showers and a few isolated thunderstorms. Not a lot of coverage because of some drier air in the upper levels of the atmosphere, but there's still some out there generating some pretty good lightning now on the border of Manatee and Sarasota counties into central and east Sarasota and Manatee counties right now, some stronger cells. And these are drifting off to the south. Here comes that breeze now. It's moving rather quickly, and you can see we have had some big flare-up of storms, so we'll have to watch this closely as it makes its way to the southwest at around 20 miles an hour. That's going to have an opportunity to meet these, and as they two meet, we will start to see some bigger storms firing up into central Florida once again. Once those break down, they send out outflow boundaries, and that'll be when the sea breeze dies down. So we'll see some coastal action late tonight. Again, I think it's too difficult to tell exactly where, but there'll be a few around. Right now, that rain is heavy east of I-75 near University and stretching into eastern portions of the county. The dry air in place means not a widespread rainfall event, but still there's enough heat in the day and just enough surface moisture and mid-moisture to create these storms. So a few scattered storms are possible, making their way back to the coast later on this evening. Not a lot, but there'll be a few. And then out in the Gulf of Mexico, may create another nice display of lightning out there in the Gulf. And we had some last night just around midnight. Tomorrow, a better chance for showers and storms to meet in the middle and then push off toward the west coast. We'll see that action again. There may be a few isolated showers tomorrow as the sea breeze starts to roll in, but that is going to be around 30%. Better chances come later in the afternoon and evening. Well, in the tropics, all is good, quiet for that matter. We are looking at the remnants of what was Isaac heading off to the west, causing all sorts of heavy rainfall over the Yucatan Peninsula, and it's going to an area that really doesn't need the rain because they had to deal with a system last week when Florence was hitting hard across the Carolinas, where they also had to deal with some heavy rainfall in South Texas. So that's going to be an issue as some of that moisture will work its way, and at least it's not going to be a tropical storm or hurricane as it makes its way toward the coast. 89 right now in Sarasota. It's a bit cooler where it's been raining right now. 87 in Venice, the Gulf water temperature at 87 degrees. 90 in places like Sebring and Avon Park. 89, the heat index is way up there, and that'll be the case again tomorrow. The high today was in 90. That's 1 degree above average. The low was 77. That was due mainly to the fact we didn't have a lot of rainfall last night to cool us off with that east breeze. Well, there goes Florence out into the Atlantic, and good riddance as it heads off to the east. There is a cold front that's making its way through the northern plain states right now, but it's going to cool things off. Highs tomorrow only 46 in Minot. And look at the heat, though. 92 in Kansas City, 95 in St. Louis. They're looking for their first front, too, come this weekend. We'll stay hot here for at least the foreseeable future for the next couple of weeks. Winds out of the northeast and northwest tomorrow as that sea breeze kicks in. Seas will be running 1 to 2 feet in a light chop. The extended forecast, 40% chance for scattered late-day storms tomorrow. Otherwise, partly cloudy throughout most of the day. High of 91, a little bit above average, too. And despite the fact that it says fall on the calendar, we'll still see summer-like temperatures all the way through the work week next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. In Sarasota, Fruitville Road is a little backed up, heading east just after the US 301 intersection.
In consumer news, did your car make the thieves' wish list last year? The National Insurance Crime Bureau identifying the top 10 models that were stolen in 2017, and they might be the ones you wouldn't expect. Coming in at number 1, the most wanted, the 1998 Honda Civic. In second, the 1997 Honda Accord, and then in third, the 2006 Ford pickup. Now, there are two trends that these cars have in common. They are very popular models. They sell a lot of them, and they lack the latest anti-theft technology, so they're easier to steal. So the complete list of the top 10 stolen cars last year, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
In order to ease overcrowding, United Airlines is testing a new boarding process this week. Where there once used to be 5 boarding lines, there will now just be 2 color-coded lines. And to help travelers with crowding at the gate, United is now also alerting passengers when boarding begins with a phone notification.
And the next time you fly Delta, expect to pay some higher baggage fees. Today, the airline posting new fees of $30 for checking a first bag, $40 for a second bag. That's a $5 increase. The changes match increases recently imposed by United Airlines and JetBlue. Apple and Google want to help you spend less time on your phones. The two are partnering up to create new features that will let you see how often you picked up the phone after bedtime or how long you're on social media at work. For parents, Apple's tools also let you control how long your kids spend on their devices if you're concerned that screens are taking time away from sleep, homework, or exercise, or just their daily life. Apple's tools are available now as part of the free iOS 12 software update for iPhones, iPads, and the iPod Touch. Google's controls are being tested on its Pixel-branded Android phones.
Okay, I think I need to go download that.
Yeah.
It'll come in handy for a lot of children as well and parents.
And I think some might be surprised at just the amount of time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, stay with us. Entertainment news is coming up next.
The final 2018 Accord clearance is now during our model year-end clearance sale. Drive new Accords for just $249 a month. Get an Accord, the North American car of the year, for less than the competition. With more standard features than Camry, Honda Sensing, multi-angle camera, turbocharged engine, and more. New Accords, just $249 a month. Your last chance for new Accords. All on clearance this week at your local Honda dealer.
A policeman stopped. Yeah, it was the lady parked next to me.
I called my wife.
My dad got up in the middle of the night.
My neighbor helped me out.
I called a tow truck.
Anyone can jumpstart your car, but for saving $20 on X2 Power car batteries, there's no one like Batteries Plus bulbs.
I'll install it myself.
I'd like you to do it.
Visit batteriesplus.com for a store near you.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. for a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Thank you.
You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
In entertainment news, fans of the singer-songwriter Prince are asking federal authorities to open a grand jury investigation into his death.
So far, a petition for the investigation has been signed by more than 6,000 people. They believe someone needs to be held responsible for the rock star's accidental fentanyl overdose back in 2016. Federal, state, and county investigators have spent nearly 2 years looking into Prince's death, but were unable to trace the source of the drug that killed him. Prosecutors say there is no credible evidence that will lead to any federal criminal charges.
Well, Monday night saw the first ever streaming service win the Best Comedy Emmy, and it was also the lowest rated Emmys ever. Just over 10 million people watched the show, an 11% drop from last year. That's also a 34% drop from the last time the Emmys were on NBC in 2014. It's not just the Emmys, though. The Oscars and Grammys have also seen big drops in recent years. Kelly Clarkson is ready to hit the stage, but not to sing. The pop star is getting her own talk show. Clarkson will host and serve as executive producer of The Kelly Clarkson Show. It's been picked up by NBC-owned television station Group. The program is slated to hit the small screen in the fall of next year. She says her touring band will serve as the house band on that show.
Maroon 5 will reportedly perform at this year's Super Bowl halftime show. The big game is set for February 3rd in Atlanta. Neither the band nor the NFL has confirmed those reports, though. The NFL says it's a Super Bowl tradition to speculate about the performers. An official halftime notice for Super Bowl 53 is expected in November.
This would have me all sorts of excited. I've been wanting to see them for quite some time now. I've heard they're pretty good in concert.
All right.
So we'll have to wait and see.
And the two teams that'll be there, too. We'll be right back with more news.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
You are like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
This fall, experience golf at a higher level, where the courses are exceptionally beautiful and incredibly challenging. On Alabama's Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, enjoy unlimited golf, including cart and range balls from $112 a day. Beautiful, deadly, irresistible. Is your game ready for the trail? Call 800-949-4444 or visit rtjgolf.com for tee times and get your game on the trail.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.